Hey guys, welcome back to TechWake TV. Thanks again for coming, and this is my third video this week. I've had some spare time and I've really enjoyed doing more videos, and I've been using a new computer and some new stuff, so it's been kind of fun. But today I want to talk about something that's not just computer gear or hard drives or techno stuff. To some degree, it's still techno, but it's not really geeky techno. I want to talk about studio monitors or monitors for your desk to do video editing with. That area is, I think, overlooked quite a bit, and people don't dive into it as much as I would like to see on YouTube. So I thought I'd share with you what I've picked out and what I like and see what you guys think of it. I have the MK402 BTX. That is made by Dayton Audio. My story is kind of a long one, so I'll make it as brief as I can. When I was in college, I had some KLH speakers, and I had a party and I jammed those speakers out all night. And the next day I heard this weird noise coming from one of the tweeters, and it was fried. So I didn't know what to do. So I reached out to KLH and I said, look, I have these speakers. I like them a lot. Can you send me a tweeter? I'm pretty sure it's just the tweeter that's damaged. And they said, sure. And I paid with a credit card. It was $5, and they sent me a tweeter to replace, and it worked fine. But the moral of the story wasn't that KLH was cool and sent me a tweeter, which was actually pretty cool. The moral of the story is that the tweeter was $5. And that got me thinking, like, well, wait a minute. I went to Costco and bought these speakers for $200. If the tweeter's $5, the other tweeter's $5, a woofer is like double that much, 10, 20. All of a sudden I'm doing the math and I'm going, wait a minute. This is kind of cool. You know, I bet I could buy a bunch of components and make my own speakers. And that's exactly what I did in the 90s and the early 2000s. I used a company called Matasound and a company called Dayton Audio. And there was another one, Parts Express. Those three companies sell components and speaker components, so you can actually build your own speakers. I even had access to cabinets and enclosures for their own projects. So you can buy things that are pre-planned out and build them yourself. So I really learned a lot about speakers and demystified some of the things that people say make speakers cost a lot of money. When you say ferrofluid tweeter, if you say, you know, rubber surround on a woofer, or if you say silk dome tweeter, aluminum dome tweeter, all that stuff is just a different way of doing the same thing. So that technology is kind of just built into everything now, that latest, greatest technology, because I don't think monitors and speakers have been improving to any great extent. They've just been changing forms. So it used to be you'd have a pair of speakers and that was it. Then was the pair of speakers with a subwoofer, and that was a thing. And then became the Bose Acoustimask. Let's make everything really tiny and small and have like some kind of subwoofer tucked away somewhere and give the illusion that you have big speakers. And then it kind of came full circle and it says, okay, let's do that same sort of thing and let's make Wi-Fi connectivity and whole house connectivity. And then you've got your Sonos and your other companies that do all that stuff. So you can really get lost in the sea of speakers, but it's really quite simple. When you're dealing with computer speakers, you can go to, you know, Best Buy and get a pair of Logitech speakers and a little subwoofer that goes under the desk, and it's going to give you better sound than you would have through your computer or laptop. But it's not going to give you something that you can edit to. So what I like to do is talk about these speakers, the MK402 BTX from Dayton Audio. They're a $99 pair of speakers, and they're very affordable. And they sound great. So what I'm going to do is walk through the physical attributes and talk about some of the features of this speaker. And then once I'm done, I'll play a sample and try to record it. It's not going to work or give you the best impression of how these things sound, but it'll give you an idea. So at the end, when you hear the sound sample, please put on some good quality headphones and plug everything in and listen to it properly, because if you listen through your phone or your computer, it won't impress you that much. But let's take a look. Okay, this speaker is pretty attractive. They're fairly cheaply built. So they have like a tape veneer covering. They're not going to be super high quality. They do have a silk dome tweeter, 1 inch, or it might be a 3/4 inch. I'm not sure. You can look at the specs. I'll post those later. And it has a treated paper cone woofer. The top portion of one of the speakers where the amplifier is built in, by the way, these have a built-in amplifier, has controls for like Bluetooth and volume and next and previous track. On the back of the amplified speaker, you have 2 posts, and those posts wire to the other, I would call it a slave speaker. They have the DC in and some connections, and it comes with all the wires you need to connect it to your computer right away. Now, the Silk Dome tweeter attributes, I would say these are pretty bright. You can tone those down a little bit, but they have really good high-end resolution, especially when you sit close to them. The thing I really like about these speakers is their bass is pretty exceptional for a 4.5-inch woofer. It really puts out some decent bass. And this speaker employs a 18 dB crossover, and without going into too much detail, it has more components and parts, and I believe these are polypropylene capacitors that I see here. So it's a pretty decent crossover system. So I would say these would be a really good starting point, especially for the $100 mark, for a good set of studio monitors to edit to for your system. So here is the samples. I'm going to play you a couple of different songs. I'm going to start off with something pretty easy to listen to. I'm sitting behind the microphone, so this is facing the speakers. It's sitting about 1.5 to 2 feet away. The speakers are spread apart on either side of my 27-inch monitor, so this would be similar to a sound that you would hear sitting at a desk listening to these speakers. So that's going to give you kind of a sense of their tonality. This is going to be a song with a little more thump to it, so check this one out and see what you think. Now, none of these songs are necessarily super clean, but it's just giving you a sense of what these sound like. This one has some pretty low frequency, so I wanted to play this so you can hear the bass coming from these. I'm not sure if you'll be able to pick these up or not. So that's like one of the hardest things in the world to do, which is to record speakers into an audio device, to only put it back into a video, to transmit this video to you to be played back through your system, through your headphones or your speakers, to give you any sense whatsoever what these things actually sound like in person. So maybe the samples are worthless, but at least listen to them. They'll give you a sense of maybe what these speakers can do. I don't know. It's the best I can do. Anyway, I think you should give them a look. They're $99 or $109, something like that. I'll leave the link below. Check these out. They're a good starter studio monitor. I like them a lot. They sound great. The thing I like about them is you can play them at a really low volume or a mid volume, and they don't change characteristics at different volumes. Some speakers will change and get a little brighter the louder they get, or they'll be bright at low volumes because the bass doesn't really come out. These stay pretty neutral all the way up and down. Good quality crossovers, good quality drivers, cool company. Check it out. Talk to you later. Bye.